Okay, yeah. We live.
All right.
Another Saturday. It's what, May 22nd already?
Damn, we ready for Memorial's Day.
Yeah.
Beginning of the summer.
Can't go to the pool, man. I ain't even going anyway. So.
I put out a pool in the back for you.
I need to get my own.
Okay.
Yes. So this is Conscious Community Connections, 104.5 FM, Urbana-Champaign. Views expressed are those of the speakers and are not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Urbana Socialist Forum. Yeah. So we're still doing our little remote, recording and stuff like that. So yeah, we're trying to make sure everybody we're in compliance with certain things. So
yeah.
Soon I will have that Zoom stuff meet up to where you can see the whole game,
Okay.
in due time, in due time. It's a cloudy day today, Maybe I think people might be a little bit under the weather or something.
I know I am. I can go to sleep in this weather.
Holiday time, if you don't get too much sun, hey. Look like it might rain on some people's parties. Or
every Memorial Day it rain. I have not seen one Memorial Day it hasn't rained yet. I have not been there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, one time, way back. No, it rained that day. Never mind. So.
Yes. So Memorial Day weekend. I know I'm supposed to be in a, what is it, graduate hump party or something. Like we're gonna be in a particular area. We're gonna drive past the graduates.
Okay.
Place where they're staying and like honk and wave type of thing. So everybody is still trying to be in compliance. But
so where is that at? Where that's gonna be at?
We're doing this in Urbana. So my cousin, she just graduated. So
man,
yeah.
I hope they gotta film that on YouTube, put that on Facebook. That'd be nice.
Man, I mean,
yeah. A graduate hot party. Yeah, that is awesome.
So I've seen a couple of them over the last couple of days.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Well.
Y'all gotta excuse
start off Memorial Day. We gotta thank all the veterans.
For sure.
Everybody out there who served in the military, who gave their life for this country. Who we all got family members who have been military. My grandfather, my uncle, so on and so on.
I got family.
I know you got it too. So.
Oh my gosh.
Right. We got a lot of military people, and we want to acknowledge that first.
For sure.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Memorial Day. Have a great weekend. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Everything goes in compliance with what you want and what you intended. We're supposed to be talking about violence. It's an ongoing topic.
It's a good day too. It's a good time for Memorial Day. I mean, in memory of people. It's a good time to talk about violence within the community. Yeah, so we got an upcoming event Tuesday, May 26th. It's going to be Facebook Live. You could go on my page, which is James TYgar Corbin, TYGAR, not TIGER. It's not about vanity. It's about consciousness. So you could go on there and you could look up. It's a flyer on there. We got this campaign we're about to launch called Aiming for Peace at 217. We got an awesome designer, new brother that came on board, Ken Norton. He's putting together this whole art and graphics, and he's really pushing this. And as well as James Kilgore, myself, Marlon Mitchell, the director, and
First Followers.
Yeah, First Followers and Heather and everyone else, man. So we are definitely trying to make some type of change in this community.
For sure.
But yeah, we want to talk a little bit about this, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk right quick. I need to cut off something.
Okay.
So we won't,
All right.
begin to go ahead and
Yeah, so with the violence that's going on in the community, and then we can think broader,
we just lost 2 young men too, man. That was some senseless stuff, very senseless.
Yeah, and then retaliation going on, people arguing with their,
while in the vehicle.
Yeah, people are,
stuff, man.
Having their disagreements, and also, when you put drinking or drugs or just not being able to come up with a compromise, some type of agree to disagree type of thing where, emotions is the main thing that is underway right now, where you think about it, emotions, they last for a little while. And when I say a little while, they are temporary. They're not going to stay. They up and down and in and out. Emotions is there to let us know that we're human, that we're feeling something, that we might be in danger or that we are in love. But sometimes when people go above and beyond their emotions, they start to react and respond. And that's the thing. We react and we respond to certain things that we may not need to, or we may need to overlook it, or we may just need to let it go,
Yeah. Emotions are real key behind a lot of the community violence within the community. And the fact that we've been under this lockdown. So there's been an uptick. I was just reading this. There's been an uptick in violence within the community, even in the white communities too. They got this. They just had a couple of big fights and brawls and Monticello and other places around here. So, places you never heard of, and now they're getting on there. Tensions are high. Kids out of school, young kids.
Stressed out.
Yeah. There's a curve. There's a what is it? Violence curve. Where they look at from young men. The highest age is that young age, like 18, say 16, about right at 20, 27. Okay. 25. Okay. Then after that, it started tapering off because these guys are not getting older. Testosterone's dropping too. I'm telling you that testosterone is something else.
Yikes.
But
more estrogen.
More estrogen, baby. Yeah.
You gotta think about that because it could be in the food. Yeah.
The men testosterone, it started doing this thing right after 30. It started, we gotta, like you said, the emotion. Nobody's thinking it through. They really are just not really, but they actually are reacting from either something they felt wronged them, but they looking at this as a permanent solution. They look at, I need to kill this dude or kill this guy as a permanent solution. So let's look at what's causing this, right? Besides that, like I say this, it's several things. We got several aspects. So we're dealing with a lack of resources. Okay. Programs. Okay. That help with that. Job. Anytime there's a job, poverty and violence is linked. Yes. Yeah. Sure. If you got poverty, somebody's gonna die. Because it's a fight for resources again. Jobs and money, whatever else, wealth. And now we could build the programs, right? Like we got a program with GoMag. Yes. We could build the programs, but the programs need to address young men who are not being addressed, like the ones who are being kicked out of school. And the second thing is the young men have to want it.
Yeah, we gotta meet them where they at.
Yeah, if you're not meeting them where they at, then they gotta want to be helped. If they don't want to be helped, you could have all the programs in the world and it's not gonna help.
For sure. Most definitely. And if they're not ready, you can meet people where they're at, but if they're not ready to make a change, like, I'm a life coach, and I don't really say too much, but people call me, and they'll have ideas, they'll ask me questions, certain things come about, and people want the help. But when I sit down with you for an hour, you're not wasting my time. You're giving me the tools that I need, to better my practice in consulting. But at the same time, people aren't ready. They're not ready to make a change. They're tired, and this is the stuff that I've studied. When you want to behavior change, there's some anger, there's some tiredness, there's some irritation, aggravation going on to where it kicks your butt, or it gives you that fire that you need in order to, what do I say, redirect your energy to something good, something better. So in order to make a change, you got to be tired of where you're at. You got to be at that plateau stage. You got to be at that, I can't feel myself go any further because something is holding me back, that type of thing. So you got to want to change. These kids, these young guys, these men, these women, we all got to change and want to change to make a change. If not, then we're going to stay the same. But it takes practice, and just because you're 40, just because you're 50, just because you're 16, it doesn't matter. You have to practice how to do these things. And I'm reading more and more now. I get my days where I'm just like, I don't feel like reading. So I'm reading Yamas and Niyamas. I just got done finishing, actually, the Alchemist. That was a wonderful book. And then I got some other books that I have as well that are on their way. So all in all, the books that I like to read compared to the books that I need to read, I kind of, go off and on between the two. But these life lessons and the behavior change and all the studying that I've done on mental health and trauma and all these things, you gotta be tired in order to make a change.
So
you gotta be angry to make that change.
So let's stick to that for a while. Let's stick to. And
when I say angry, not that that you're trying to retaliate or be violent towards someone, but it's like that anger where you're kind of mad at yourself that you're going through this, and then you're like, okay, I gotta make a difference. And that's when you filter that energy or redirect your energy. And that's how you're going to be able to make a change.
So these young guys, the ones, they don't know they're ready for that change yet. Because,
they're at that plateau where they're ready to make a difference, go make a difference. Matter of fact, shout out to them. But they're ready to make a difference. They're plateaued. So they are just like sitting there. They're like, what is going on? They don't know this. We need them to understand what it means. They don't know this. So it's like they're plateaued. So when you plateau something, you're not going up, you're not going down, you're just staying the same. It's like a fine line. You're just staying the same. Where you're not learning from what you're doing. You're not learning from the things that you're going through right now. You already learned enough. Now you have to elevate yourself or push yourself to do more. You're comfortable being plateaued.
So they have to get to that point first, right? Before you could help them, before you could help anybody. Yes. We could design programs.
Oh, yeah.
But again, like I said, if they don't want or are not ready to receive this help, and here's why I say that. We were in a discussion with some young men, and one of them made the claim that he feels his time is near.
Okay.
So, I've been there at that place before.
Me too.
But when you speak those things, you also speak it in. You're gonna bring it into existence.
Manifestation. Yeah.
Right. It's gonna self-manifest.
In law
and you
of
don't
attraction.
know that. Right. Law of attraction. So, you know, and I asked him. I said, "Well, why you feel you next?" I knew the answer already. You know, the answer is one. You're around a bunch of people you shouldn't be around.
For sure. For sure.
You know, that's why you seeing this that way.
For sure.
Because you either involved in something that you shouldn't be around, or you around individuals you should not be around.
Yeah.
Most, and I'm not saying they all bad, but when I was younger, I was around. I had a bigger crowd I'd be around, so it felt closer to me when somebody passed.
Okay.
Yeah, but now I kind of, you know, I purposely distance myself now, but not for the purpose of not engaging, but just, you know, it's not like mine. I'm not involved in the street anymore.
Right.
So it's a difference.
Right.
And you know, I'm sure that he's probably thinking the same. I'm not telling him to give up his friends. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, look at who you're around. What are the activities that's going on?
Right.
Because these things are tied one way or the other. You know, very seldom are they just, well, you know, unless it's just random and mistaken. But somewhere along there was something, event, or something that tied these things up.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Now you as a female, you was young and kind of wild.
That was a long time ago, dang. You know?
Yeah, Kee-Kee came out again.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
I
was it the same as a female? Is it the same way? Or what?
I mean, I wasn't that wild. I wasn't doing... It's Saturday now. Don't do this. Yes, so I mean, I did what I did, but you know, I'm a female, so I was very emotional, but I had some issues in which I covered a lot of things up. So I made myself a certain way. Like I made myself strong. I made myself, you know, like change. I reinvented myself, transformed, did it again, transformed, did it again, reinvent myself, you know, that type of thing. But it took some time to figure it out.
Okay, and what got you there? What was it? What got you there to start your transformation? What brought you
something inside of me?
But what was it? Was it fatigue? Was it tiredness? Was it ready to see something? What? How?
I was just tired of. I was tired of people. People around town. People around town that, you know, they weren't there. You know, they weren't really offering their services. It was like certain people I just couldn't go to. I couldn't talk to. I couldn't open up to. You know, so that's why I'm like initiating that. Like, I'm here for a lot of people. If you give me a call me. You know, call me. I don't have any problem with answering. Email me. Yes, talk to me. Talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I wanted to be that advocate for whoever around here right now, because I didn't have that then. And I know for a fact that now you really need to talk to somebody. You really need to get some things off of your chest. A lot of people aren't doing the recreational things, like actually exercising or practicing yoga or, you know, doing mindfulness type of things. They're not doing that. You know, they're not in sports right now. It all shut down.
Sports is down.
You know, so
especially
even
guys,
little, guys need it. Yeah. So it's like humans need it, but the men, they really do need something to occupy their time. Yeah. Where at some point in time they were 3 years old playing, you know, pee-wee. Then they grew up and they were doing wrestling. Then they grew up and then now they're not doing nothing. I don't know how and why. You know, they're not playing basketball or in extracurricular activities, but they should be involved in something. Do art, do chess, do something to stimulate your mind. Men, young men, you know, young adolescent men, you know, males, they need to do that, you know. And at the same time, these times right now where they're confined, shelter in place, all these things inside, you can't go outside to play basketball with your homeboys. I mean, that used to be a good thing. You know, that was a great thing. Playing football, doing, you know, practices. My son, he watches football little clips on YouTube where that's all he just want to watch. You know, people getting juked and, you know, the guys falling on their back because they didn't catch nothing, and, you know, just out playing football, but you take it to the court. You redirecting or filtering that energy on the court.
Okay.
It's on the court. So you mad, you frustrated, you go hard on the court. You mad, frustrated, you go hard, you know, like in the gym, that type of thing. So you got to learn how to do that. And it takes practice, but if no one told you, if no one showed you, and they just smoking, drinking, having sex, fighting, fussing, you know, doing all these things, then learn behavior. The kid's going to do the same. So, and then if that's all you know, you're going to keep doing that same pattern.
That increased the violence. That leads to short decision making.
Yeah, right? Impulsive thinking. Yeah, impulsive actions, all of that. Yeah. That makes sense, man. Yep. Because when you're doing those things, you can relax or you can think. You know, when I'm, you know, like doing my mindfulness thing, I can think on and focus on one thing. It's like, oh, dang, I got to do that. Or if I'm at the gym or on the treadmill, or I don't do treadmill, on the elliptical, I'm able to think things through, you know, but also sweat it out, you know, and releasing those toxins in which we have a lot in our body, and it's another show, but yeah, those chemicals in our body need to be filtered out. Yeah.
So, well, that makes sense. And I guess when you start having a cleaner mentally, physically, and just a cleaner lifestyle, then you can start making better decisions.
Yes.
Yeah, because I say this, man, a lot of that stuff, now I'm not saying somebody who's a vegan wouldn't go out and shoot nobody. I'm pretty sure we got plenty of vegans in jail. But somebody who's conscious of what they putting into their body, you know, unless you just really push them, I'm pretty sure they'll, you know, take you out. But I don't know. That's a good question. We need to raise that.
Because you don't take a communication class or a speech class until you're in college. Yeah. They don't teach communication in school. They need to. Right. They don't talk about relationships in class. They need to. You know? Yeah. By the time they get to, middle school, I was in a program, and I was employed and I was teaching a particular curriculum. We taught that during health. But
now, what did y'all teach? Y'all taught that to the young men?
Yeah, we taught like communication skills, life skills, certain things, you know, you think that maybe the students will get it from their parents, but, you know, certain things just, you know, go over people's head. Where communication, if you're trying to communicate, you need to be assertive, not aggressive, and not passive. You know, those are the three different ways of communication, or a speaker, I should say, to, you know, just like which way or who are you at home? You know, you're probably aggressive. You're probably a talker. You probably, you know, tell the kids certain things, and you're pretty timid or quiet, or, You know, like authoritarian is not in the, house at all. So
well, I'm thinking communication. That make a good point, because if you could communicate better, then you usually could work out your issues without having a gun.
And then we have to take into account emotions as well. So all three of those: communication, relationships, and emotions. Those are three basic things that we as humans need to know. Period. So emotional intelligence is knowing when you're feeling a particular way. And that means you have verbal and non-verbal cues that tell you when you're going through something. Like, I'm about to be pissed off if this happens, but before I get pissed off, I get irritated, or something like that. Like, before I get really angry, I get agitated, whatever it is. But I have little body signals that tells me I'm about to be irritated. I might start sweating, certain things, hands might start shaking, whatever it may be. But these are basic skills that we need to teach.
Yeah, so you bringing that to the conscious.
Yeah.
You bringing these triggers, awareness to the forefront.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense, man. Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and then now the program side, the programs are going to have to address, actually, the programs are going to have to address those who are not being addressed.
For sure.
We got a lot of these young guys, you got the school to prison pipeline. And what that consists of is the kids are being suspended more, being thrown out the class, sent home, not participating. All this does is get the kid ready for prison.
Yes.
That's the school to prison pipeline. It's overly done. And there was a case here in 2002 in this area, but I'm not going to discuss it. And it was against the school district, saying that these things were overly used, especially against black males. And we get that a lot, where you have a majority of the school is white female teachers. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they I'm not saying they racist.
Right.
But they see a lot of aggressive behavior as, or they see, I ain't gonna say aggressive behavior, I say they see, let's say, a communication style that's maybe permitted in their area as aggressive behavior. Right? So this misunderstanding is causing this, and everything is tied. It's that relation where we're looking at, as far as how did the kids get here? So the program is gonna have to reach that group, and how do you reach that group is the question. Because once a kid mind is made up, or a young man mind is made up that he or she is a menace or non-productive, they continue in that cycle. It creates this loop.
Yes.
And that's why I said you can build these great programs, but if their mentality is not right, if they're not ready to receive it, then it's that old adage: you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Some of them gonna have to feel it. Some of them gonna have to go through it. I hate to say it, and I don't believe in that scared straight stuff, but I do believe in wear down straight. They tired, like you said. You can't scare nobody into nothing. Fear don't operate that way. If that was the case, none of us ever drive a car, because you got an accident. You wouldn't even go outside. A tree could fall on you. You never know. But we can't use fear as something to say, hey, don't do this.
Okay. All right. Well, you're tuned in to Conscious Community Connections. This is 104.5 FM, Urbana-Champaign. Views expressed are those of the speakers and are not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Bena Socialist Forum. So it's just me and TYgar right now. We're talking about violence in the community and overall, you know, what needs to possibly change in the home and in outside of the home. You know, where you can instill these key factors into your child's life. You know, just basic life skills. But you know, I mean, I wasn't taught how to communicate until, you know, like now. Even though. Yeah, now I'll let you know.
You good at it now?
Go off and leave me alone. Yeah.
Are you okay? You
but,
sure? You sure you good at it?
Yeah, just as long as certain things don't happen.
Like
you know. Nah, we don't need to talk about that.
Kee-Kee
just leave me alone. You know, just leave me alone.
Kee-Kee wanna know this.
Nah, I'm just like a person that I don't bother people. You know, if ever you see like something like belligerent or wild and like, dang, what happened? Somebody messed with me. You know, I don't go pick with people. You know, I will try to avoid a lot of things. You know, I don't like embarrassment. I don't like certain things like that. So I'm not that one that.
So you're non-confrontational?
No, not.
I learned
that was I'm not confrontational.
That's what I'm saying. You're non-confrontational,
right?
Okay.
I was, you know, taught not to do all of that. You know, like a learned behavior. But other than that, yeah, I'm cool.
Okay.
Nah.
Not that violent. That violent. If you're not pushed.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
going back to Kee-Kee again.
I'm renewed. Okay.
Okay.
I'm working on myself. God's still working on me.
We go with that. That's cool, man.
But,
that's cool. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I guess then, what about, now there has also been an uptick in, this was in the paper, divorces, separations, domestic violence, because everybody's locked down in place. What about that? What do you think about that? Like, what do you think about, okay, so y'all, well, I guess you thought you was made for each other, but being 24 hours around each other has really proven that I can't stand this person. Is it good to do that? Or I know it's not good, but I guess the question would be, how should they not turn to negative actions such
like
as violence and fighting? Yeah,
fighting,
they get, you know, you're gonna get that. This is human behavior because we deal with humans. So, you know, is that a communication issue? Would you say? I mean, what's driving that? That's the question. Is it a communication issue? Are these people just in this house 24 hours and now we're going crazy now?
There was issues in the beginning, you know.
You think?
Heck yeah.
I mean, you know, because
heck yeah. So I mean, if you're,
you just can't take that.
There's some factors.
What's going on?
There's some factors where you have to look at the person in the relationship. You know, the separate entities, I should say. Ooh, is my light going out? Or my batteries? I don't know. It's flashing.
Yeah. Flashing. Lights.
Take a picture right now, right?
Light.
I don't know. I think it's battery.
Yeah.
But what I will say about the relationships, domestic violence, even prayers to the Jenkins family. I love Tanisha a lot. I wasn't able to attend because it was just too much, you know, too much. My respects was sent in the spiritual realm, you know, to them. But at the same time, I've been through the abusive, toxic relationships, like in a pattern over and over again, that people need to actually start to take time out for themselves. You know, they putting their self off on someone else, and they don't really like themselves. So, meaning I want to be in a relationship just to fulfill the fact that I don't want to be alone, and I really don't want to even deal with my own crap. You know, so I get a distraction because I don't want to deal with my own crap. So I get a distraction, and that's pretty much what it is. Some of the relationships are distractions to where you don't have to necessarily deal with your trash, your garbage, your own baggage. You know, you rather get into a relationship and deal with their stuff rather than your own crap. You know, so you'll help another person be like, I love this person. I want to help you. I see so much potential in you. I love you. This type of thing, but you're distracted by that relationship because you don't want to be alone and deal with your own loneliness and try to figure out what you need to, you know, improve in, or what you need to fill your heart with, and that self-love and that type of stuff. So we're in that time where, even though this pandemic have shut a lot of things down, this pandemic has also brought some light.
Yes, it has.
To individuals where people have been masking their problems. People have been putting a mask on even before we even was, you know, mandated to put the mask on. A lot of people have masks. And I even realized, even myself, you know, get that self-realization going where you start reflecting. I thought about it like, I need to be alone. Relationship-wise.
Yeah.
I have to be alone because I need to figure out like why I'm so prone to try to get another relationship, or why haven't I dealt with my past yet?
Right.
Because it's still coming, and where I'm like, nah, I don't even want to be touched.
Oh,
I don't even want to hug, or I don't even feel like answering the phone today. You know, different type of stuff like that. So why? You know, and I should just be alone. I shouldn't include anybody in my trash, my baggage, my extra, whatever it is. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So a lot of people need to really like deal with their self. Self-love is not selfish. You know? So deal with yourself. Yeah. Build yourself up. Don't try to, you know, find somebody to be like, oh, you're so beautiful, and now you obsessed with that person. Yeah. And then once you obsessed with that person, you like, well, you don't even call me beautiful anymore. It's like, why don't you call yourself beautiful? You know, we are. That's
that needed attention.
Yeah.
When they get into that needed mode.
Yeah, clingy and all of that. So, yeah, all in all, with the domestic violence, with the toxic relationships, a lot of people are kind of opening up their eyes to see, like, this person, I really can't deal with them anymore. Or, hey, we've been at this place right now where I'm tired. I'm angry. I need to get away from you. Right. You've been toxic. I just overlooked it. There was red flags. I just overlooked it. You weren't all that fine. Or you weren't all that my cup of tea. You know, you weren't really, I just settled. You know, so there's a lot of factors with this relationship stuff. We also need to look at how society pushes marriages. Okay. And relationships.
Well, I don't know what the divorce rate is right now. It's pretty high. Well, we had a two-people society now. You got almost got two people working in order to have a good, just to have a normal household or something like that. But
I'm making it work.
But the main thing is, I think that's why they're pushing that.
And is that
everybody's not in that position where they could say make it work, or who have, you know, who trying to achieve things. I think that's really what it was about. You know, when you ever read about kings and queens, they would marry someone into the kingdom in order to share the wealth within that family.
Okay.
They what's that? You always see it on TV talking about, I promise you my daughter to do. And the reason why they did that was not so much as love, because the man or woman didn't even see him yet.
Right.
But it was for building wealth.
Okay.
You know, within this, rich families kept rich families together.
For sure.
That's how that was the game. A lot of us get married say for love, but there's no plan.
Yikes.
You know, what's the plan? Because love will last, but not like that. Not
is
like
it an emotion or is it an action?
Well, it's a little bit of both. And love will last. I believe love can last, but not in a way as I first met you. Let's say I first met you, I was heads over heels. Now, as as that person stay there, our brains sort of blend them into the background.
Okay.
And then as they in the background, they become more background noise. It's not that you are ignoring this person. It's just that you have other things going on. And you start to not appreciate them as you did in the beginning. Right?
Okay.
So now you're looking at them through a different lens. And this is where the frustration comes in with a lot of guys or, women too. Right? Women see the same way. So, and I get it. I get it. And I think this pandemic, this lockdown has really shown that, has shown how, what was the reason behind it? It's going to have to be something more than just, oh yeah, I love you and all that. Because, man, that emotion can't last all the time. Because we go up and down in emotions. We go up and down. There's some days you don't want to be touched. He don't want to be touched.
Yeah.
He don't even want to see you. Right. You don't want to see him.
Yes.
But I think that if you acknowledge that and say, I just need some self-time, you go do your thing. That'll keep all that down.
Yes.
That will keep that down. And it's not a bad thing not to want to be up under somebody 24 hours or not to see them within that day. I know, I got cussed out a couple of times with this. But, hey, I go for a week or so. It's just me. And then, I can appreciate you more when I come back around. But everybody don't like that.
No.
Some people get kind of testy with that one.
I
don't get it.
There's different love languages.
But I don't get it. Why would you get testy with me? I don't get it.
Because they have a different love language and you don't know that language. You know? You gotta know your partner's love language.
It ain't like I'm going out cheating or nothing. I'm just going out into doing some other stuff. But no, I gotta get a bottle rolled at my head or something. And it's it's easy to hit somebody with a round head like this.
Yeah. Right. Hey. Relationships, emotions, and communication.
Man.
Period.
It's hard.
We weren't taught this. It's like a learned behavior. You see your mama and your daddy didn't get along.
Yeah.
Yikes. You might not, have those same characteristics. You might just have those same characteristics. You never know.
You usually pick somebody just like your parents. Usually you pick somebody that you are familiar with. Either a parent or somebody else around you. You're usually going to get one of them.
Okay.
Because it's a weird thing. It's not that you're looking for that, but you are used to that. And you kind of, once you acknowledge it, you can't acknowledge it. It's done subconsciously. But once you lock into it, it's very easy to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. You're usually going to get somebody like one of your parents. It's the weirdest thing, man. It just happens. I see it all the time. Yeah, I see it all the time.
Well,
I got relatives like that right now who they went out and definitely they got they parent, one of the parents. And I ain't gonna say them, but they got one of the parents, man. I said, this girl like just like let's say your mom or something. They don't even know.
Right.
It's just funny.
Yeah. Yeah. We gotta be careful, but also be patient with yourself. I've been telling people, be good to yourself. You know, just be good to yourself. Yep. Try to be good to yourself. Right. And I mean, you can't make anyone do anything. You can't make anyone call you. You can't make anyone be with you. You know, that's just not how things are. I mean,
they don't call me. I'm firing. I'm telling them right now. They 2 days out. I'm firing. No, I'm just kidding.
You talking so much spit right now.
I know.
I mean, okay. It sounds good.
I know.
I don't know.
Message.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, relationships. They're tough. And if you don't have a good, solid foundation, like relationship with yourself, man, you know,
go into relationship with yourself. What does that look like? Because you see, I agree with you totally on this because, you know, if you making, I say this, you wouldn't have a young man going back to violence.
Okay.
Let's say committing a shooting, or
beating up his girlfriend.
If let's say he said, well, I want to be a doctor. Or something, and I got to think about my career. He'll think twice about this. But
yeah, because you got a lot to lose.
Right, but somebody with little goals, and I think having goals is a good issue because somebody who don't have goals, he would go every fight is a fight. You know, you pick and choose your battles.
For sure. Sure.
Every battle is not meant for you to fight.
For sure.
Or you don't have to take everything and just take it as a personal attack.
Right.
That takes energy out of you.
Yes, and it takes practice too.
Yeah,
because I used to go through that stuff too.
But did you have goals? So you didn't have goals. Did you have goals at that time? Because somebody who had goals would be like, I'm not going to waste no time and energy putting this into you. All this energy of me fighting you, that takes a lot of energy. You drain. Because once you get into an argument with a person, you can't all of a sudden just turn around and somebody you like come up and say, hey, how you doing? And you just say, hey, Bob, how you doing? That'll look crazy. You are usually catered off your emotional post and leaning heavily toward anger or something else for the whole week. They'll mess up your whole week. There's a what is it? For every put down somebody gives you, it takes 6 compliments in order to change the direction of that. Did you know that?
No.
For every put down, like, so if I say, I don't like your shoes, it'll take up to 6 compliments, like, hey, I like that jacket. And somebody else say, hey, I like those pants. And then somebody else come back and say, hey, those shoes are great. Hey, I love your hair in that bun right there. You know, hey, I love your eyes. So it take up to 6 to balance off just one teardown.
Okay.
Yep. Because you're going to carry that longer. Now, I do like them shoes. I'm just using that example. Those are cool shoes, man.
They was like $5.
Yeah, you kind of copied off me today. I just noticed that. You doing your camo stuff, huh? Yeah. No. Okay, but, yeah, I got my own swag. But, but that's the thing, though, you know. Yeah, man.
Okay.
So these are the things that you got to learn, man. For one teardown, this person is dwelling too long. Now, we got a young man who lost his life early in the morning. Somebody had to stew all night and wait for that young man. You know, what was going on in this young man's life, whoever took his life, to stay up all night and say, I'm going to wait for this guy. You know, what? You know, that was, see, he's dwelling too hard on, man, I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. Like he did made, this individual that made up their mind, mm-hmm. you know, whether overnight or whatever, something happened, but that's too long. If it happened, that's if it happened that way. Now, if it was just something impulsive, and it was just, oh, okay, now I finally ran across you. Mm-hmm. That's still too much energy put into something that's not going to benefit you. What is the benefit of taking someone out in their life and you lose your freedom? That makes no sense, you know, long term. Unless you're somebody who really don't see yourself, who has a future. So then that makes sense. But, you know, just understanding this, you know, understanding how this works, how not to let each battle pick you. You know, pick and choose your battles. I don't have time for that. You know, I just got in over here, you know, a little parking lot thing over here, and I'm not finna stand there arguing with you. I just said, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, guy threw up a finger, threw one back, and I just rolled on, man. You know, I'm not finna argue with you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ain't got time for that, man. I don't have time for that. That's too much that's too much one out of my day, and I got too many things on my plate that need to get done, and I need to stay focused on that, and don't let no one pull me from that and pull me into his BS or their BS. Because a lot of people are, you know, he might have a bad day. She might have a bad day. Mm-hmm. She might have got, I don't take it personal. Right. Like I didn't take the little discrimination personal. Right. And that's the trick. That's one of the keys, you know, don't take this thing personal.
Practice. It's a practice, mm-hmm. you know, because at the same time when you were the 17-year-old TYgar compared to the now TYgar, it's totally different. It took time and practice to perfect how you know how you react and respond, and that's with life. Mm-hmm. Period. It's how you react and respond to people or life in general or situations. It's how you react or respond. Mm-hmm. And I'm teaching my kids now. You have to ignore certain things. You have to not take it so personal. Right. And sometimes it's not even about you. Period.
Yeah, it's not. It's not about you.
So you gotta think about those things.
These people don't even know you. They don't know you from a can of paint. So I know already that little incident there. It's not about me.
It wasn't.
It wasn't about me.
No. But you have to teach the kids that. You have to instill that. You have to repeat it over and over and over again. Like with my dog, I have to keep training her to do certain things because she might react and respond to my kids a certain way. But once I come in the door, it's like, no, I don't have time for that. You're a dog. I tell you to come here, come here. Tell you to sit, sit. You know, so I got to not retrain her, but I got to repeat those steps again. Come, sit, stay, that type of thing, because I don't want any problems, you know? So you got to instill these things into the kid's life at a young age. Right. And if you weren't able to do that when they were young, you can try to teach them that in the future or right now at this present time. Teach them those things because eventually they will be okay. Eventually they will understand. Eventually they will get it. Okay. You know, but you gotta like repeat it. They have to practice it in order to become a yoga instructor. You have to practice in order to become good at mindfulness and being able to levitate or whatever. You know, you have to practice certain things.
I want to levitate.
It might spook people out. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah. So I don't know, man. What we want to close on? What you thinking? You want to close on? How you want to close this out? Where should we close this out? I say close this out on a positive solution. So I'm going to start with this. Community violence there's two primary factors, internal and external. We talked a little bit about both. So internal are the individual has to be ready for this change.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And they have to get to a place where they're just tired and said they want to see something better and believe that they could bring it about. That's the internal.
Yes.
And what else? What else was you saying? You said something else because you went into some good things with internal. Let's stay with internal for about 2 more minutes.
You need some self-love.
Self-love.
You know.
Self-love.
You know. You already said this. Be aware of, like your emotions and know who you are.
Emotions, self-love. Okay.
Yep.
And
be able to communicate. Communication.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
You need, in order for you to live long days, you're supposed to have one strong relationship.
Okay. All right. So that balance.
So yeah,
that's
you need
internal.
Balance. And
that's the internal.
That doesn't mean you have to have a girlfriend. It can be a mentor. It can be.
It just be a cool friend that call you or supposed to call you and they don't call you, or they might show up and they don't. They show up late, but they still cool.
Is there some emotion coming out?
No, they still cool.
Oh. Okay.
So that's internal. So external would be some programs designed to address certain, to teach skills, life skills. Again, communication.
Yes.
Programs that are like sports that help to channel that energy. What else? Programs, having a good job, having a schedule.
Oh.
Having a schedule, setting goals. Now that's internal and external. Internal, that's both, I would say, but it's actually more internal. But I'm gonna give it internal and external because you can have goals inside, like internal goals, saying that you want to be mindfulness about a lot of your things, and you got external goals saying that I want to buy a house and I don't have time for this foolishness to be out here trying to kill nobody and all that other garbage. I'm thinking about my future, so
for sure,
and having some good friends around. That's really good. So
positive friends.
Positive friends, man.
Yeah,
you got to get away from negative friends.
I got a friend that he's pretty much like, he keeps saying it, like, I need to get away from these people. And I'm like,
get away.
Man, isolate yourself from something. Like, tell these people,
I could love you from a distance, man. We
cool. Start eliminating certain people. Like, that's what you got to do. Be around more positive people. Yeah,
because if you see yourself, and like this young guy, again, he said he felt like it was his time coming up. Then that means you involved with things that you shouldn't be involved with, more or less. Now you can get something, go out there, and it still can happen to you. But that's a sense of fear. How did fear set in? Fear is an emotion. It's a strong emotion, but you allowing this fear to set in. What's going on? Is it the environment? Because I lived in one of those very harsh environments, and fear was there every day. I went out the door. I was like, oh man, this thing can happen anytime now. Anytime. I already knew it, but and then again, at the same time, I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing.
Yes.
So it was,
that plays a factor.
But I think that's it. I think I like to close with that. I'll let you read the disclaimer again. It's Conscious Community Connection.
Where we keep the community connected.
We try to talk about issues within the community. I'm TYgar the Motivator. This is Heather J, the healer. Yeah. She gets you together. She gets your balance, your chakras. She align your chakras up. And I've been using a lot of her products too, man. I got some of her sage. What that sage at? Give me that sage over there. You got to see this sage, man. Let me see this sage.
My goodness.
I want y'all to see this sage, man. Don't it look like one of the big old ganchas? But it's awesome, man. So you want to, Heather got some excellent products. And these are very good. I like to meditate with this. or sometimes just sit around the house and listen to some blues or other good music, like I was earlier before somebody shut off my music.
I didn't.
It's a great person. Don't worry about it. But why you say you didn't? You didn't say you. I just said somebody. I didn't mention you. I didn't mention no names. But it's all good because these are great. These are great things, and payload sticks, oils. Man, the girl is. You know, you need these. I needed these things in order to. They help me relax in a lot of ways.
It's just aromatherapy. It's aromatherapy. You get your senses going. You get that familiar smell.
Right.
Right. It cleans the air too. Yeah. But it's
good for you.
Rituals and practices from the indigenous people, in which, clears the air. Yeah. Cleanse the negativity.
Would
the
you
bacteria,
say this self-love? I'm practicing self-love. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you're doing it, you're trying to reflect on certain things or focus on certain things. So you taking time out for yourself.
Cool. That's what's up. So practice more self-love, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what we would like to do.
We are, man, in some troublesome times right now. Yeah. I believe it's the year of the Jubilee for real. I'm celebrating. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are going through some struggles and trials and tribulations, and it might not be their time. It might not be their year of Jubilee. Right. That's just personal. It's individual. This is just my year to celebrate, where I know for a fact everything that I said I wanted, I'm getting it this year.
Okay.
Period.
All right.
Everything starts lining up, and hey, that manifestation, everything starts coming through, and you just like law of attraction is just working on me, and that's a different, episode, I should say. But work on those things where you speak it, write it down, believe in it, let it go though. You have to let it go. Once you let it go, the universe and the law of attraction, it start to manifest. And that's just how it works. I mean, it's in the Bible. It might say it in a different language or whatever, but it's in there. It's in there. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely in there.
And then at the same time, just think about what you are doing and what you want to do. Be present, but you want to have some goals in the future too.
Okay. Well, this Conscious Community Connection, I guess we're going to be out of here.
Yes.
And
did I say the disclaimer?
No, you didn't.
Well, 104.5 FM, Urbana-Champaign. Views expressed are those of the speakers and are not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Urbana Socialist Forum. Be good to yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of this community. And I am saying I'm just like so heartbroken with all of the the violence that has been going on, not necessarily just saying shootings, but also domestic violence and all of that's going on. I am heartbroken. We can overcome this, but we got to come together with the unity. And then when you come together with the unity, you have to, everyone individually have to take care of their self. Has to take care of what they're supposed to take care of.
That's true. So, all right, y'all, we out, and we enjoyed you again. Be safe on this this holiday. It's Memorial Day again. It's for the vets. Thank y'all.
Good. We good.